Okay, we're live.
Welcome, everyone, to the Season 4 Tennessee Performance League draft for NASCAR Heat 5. I am always Joker. I will lead you guys through the event tonight. With me in the booth, we have two drivers getting drafted and one owner. So, first, we will start with the owner, Masopes. Welcome.
What's up, man? So exciting right now. I've waited for this for so long. I think everybody has. I think everybody can feel the excitement. I think everybody's ready.
I agree. We're also joined by free agent driver Code Red Dew. Jake, how are you?
I'm doing great. Besides the winter storm they have here, I'm just happy to get a chance to be here and have an exciting time with you guys. It's a very exciting night for us.
I agree. We're also joined by the person leading the stream on YouTube for everyone, Bostic. Bostic, how are you?
I'm feeling good right now. Just waiting to get this draft underway and see where I get drafted. It's gonna be a good night.
Yeah, I agree. So, first thing we're going to do, we're going to go back for a few minutes. We're going to go to the Season 3 Truck Series where Shake and Bake pulled a very incredible run in the playoffs. He run 4 of the last 5 races in the playoffs to win his first championship with GMS. Masopes, what are your thoughts on that run from Shake and Bake a few months ago?
I think he had a great run. When the playoffs started, Shake and Bake definitely turned into a different driver. It's kind of hard to, re-gear that memory going. It's been so long since we've been on Heat 5 and racing, and, I hate that for us, but I'm so glad we're back. I think Shake and Bake's also definitely ready to get back on the track, defending Truck Series champion. I'm very interested to see what series he's going to be in, if he's going to want to return, defend that Truck Series title or not, or try to do something in another series. But overall, last year he did a great job. Really turned it on when it mattered the most. Kind of reminded me of uh, just a lot of different drivers throughout the league have that kind of mentality when the playoffs hit, just drive different, be better than everyone else, and he definitely showed that. Can't wait to see where he goes in this draft.
I agree. Jake, what are your thoughts on just the Truck Series in general? You were there last year, so how was it for you?
It was a lot of fun. The competition was really intense, and I believe the competition is going to get really tough for the Truck Series this season. And I expect a lot of incredible racing, especially out of the Truck Series this year.
I agree. Shake won the Truck Series. Let's now move on to the Xfinity Series. A very interesting season, to say the least. Tiger NASCAR, who is now a free agent, won the Season 3 Xfinity Series title. For HMS again, Mo Doodle came second after that incredible run at Bristol that he pulled off in the round of 8 a few months ago. Masopes, you were in that Final Four race. What are your thoughts on Tiger in this draft coming up?
Yeah, that's a steal of a pick. It'll be very interesting to me. Again, one of those drivers where you just don't know where he's going to end up. He could be in Cup or he could go back down to Xfinity. But overall, I think he had a great season last year. He showed excellent pace at every single type of track we went to, whether it was a short track, an intermediate, a super speedway, or a road course. He was on par with the fastest cars on the track every time. And it's just that's a steal of a pick right there, Tiger NASCAR. I think no matter where he gets drafted on the board, it's going to be a good pick, and whoever gets him is going to be really lucky to get that driver.
Yeah, I agree. We'll move on to Jake. Where do you think Tiger goes here? Do you think he's the number 1 pick, or do you think he'll slide a little bit to JGR or Roush?
For as long as I've known him and the amount of times I got a chance to be able to call a Tiger NASCAR race, he's always an incredible driver. So I definitely say he's going to be the number 1 pick. Where he'll go, I'm not going to really predict anything. But in my eyes, he is the number one driver to be able to pick. So if I was any of the owners, I would want him on my team. So I definitely could say no matter where he goes, he's going to be putting on an impact for his team and for the season for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Well, now we'll move on to the Cup Series, where I myself won the championship in a pretty controversial fashion, but we're going to just ignore that. Masos, what are your thoughts on the Cup Series group last year? A really competitive grid.
Yeah, a really competitive grid. One of the most competitive grids I've ever been in when it comes to league racing. Actually, it is. That season was the most competitive league racing I've ever done, I think, in the Cup Series. And I was there for a very short stint. Those guys are really tough to beat. Speaking for myself, when I did race, it was incredibly tough to get a top five, to run at the front of the pack. Those guys are ruthless. They're brutal. They're not going to give you any room. They're the best drivers in this league for a reason. They race in the Cup Series for a reason, and I think those drivers are at the top to be at the top. I think it's the most competitive season we've had, and hopefully this season is the same. I think with a lot of returning drivers, it could be the exact same as last year. And congratulations on winning the championship in such a competitive group of drivers. But the format changes this year. The format changes in favor of something that you might like. So hopefully that goes good for you. But we'll see, won't we?
Yes, we will. But now is the important time here. We will now transition to the draft breakdown. Or first, excuse me. So sorry. We'll first do the interview with the person who has the second pick. Masopes, you have the second pick. Is your pick already made? Do you already have plans on who you're going to draft if the guy you want is taken with the first pick?
Yeah, we already have multiple candidates that I think could fit really well in our system at JGR. And if the first pick, if our first option gets taken,
everything.
oh no,
Yeah.
Brody, mute your mic.
What? Yeah.
I believe we are good.
All right, so with the second pick, yeah, I think there's a lot of competitive drivers there that we can take. The first candidate, obviously, if he gets taken first, there's definitely alternatives, and that's all I'll really say about that.
Yeah, I agree. So now we will move on to the draft breakdown for everyone. On the screen, it should show the Google Sheet for everyone. The driver's already listed on that screen once Bostic pulls it up. The drivers already picked on that screen are already been kept by the owners. We had a recent addition of the Ghost, who was kept back on for CGR for season 4. The order of this screen and the way they are selected, so this is the order of the draft. In the pink list, that is all the free agents being drafted. So for everyone thinking you won't get drafted, if you're a free agent, if you filled out the form, you will be drafted and you will be on a team tonight. So with that being said, we will now have Stewart Haas Racing Mayhem tomorrow. The draft is officially open. He is now on the clock, and he has 2 minutes to submit his pick. See where he goes here. Jake, where do you think he's going to go? The first pick.
Easily, I think his first pick is going to be Tiger in NASCAR. I don't see why not. I mean, he is an Xfinity Series champion, and I know that he wants to have some of that championship material added to his team. So my prediction is he's going to pick Tiger in NASCAR for sure.
I agree. As we have the pick in, Masos, what are your thoughts? Who do you think it is? Do you think it's Tiger, or do you think it's someone off the radar?
I definitely think it's Tiger. I think Tiger's going to Mayhem right here, right now.
Okay, well, with the first pick in the 2022 Season 4 Hennessy Performance League Draft, Stuart Haas Racing selects Tiger NASCAR 1. He will be driving in the Truck Series for SHR. A really good pickup there for them.
Really good pickup. Me and Soaps definitely called that for sure. And congratulations to Tiger NASCAR on being the first pick.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I think you couldn't have gone wrong there with the first pick. I'm not going to say I think that's the best driver in this driver pool, but you don't have a best, I think, in this driver pool. I think it's just an even playing ground right now. It's been a long time since we've been on this game, but overall, I think that's a great pick for Mayhem. Congratulations to Tiger NASCAR 1 on being the first overall pick in our first draft.
Yeah, I agree. We'll now move on to the second pick in the draft, Masopes for JGR. And he has already submitted his pick. So he's already getting quick here with these picks. With the second pick in the 2022 Season 4 Hennessy Performing League draft, Joe Gibbs Racing selects Jojo Siwa. He will go to JGR for the first time in his career. Masopes, what are your thoughts on that pick? You just made it live. How do you feel?
I think JoJo just showed so much pace throughout this last season. I really regret the decisions that I made when I was his owner and kept him in an Xfinity car, because he could have competed in Cup. He could have won the Cup championship, in my opinion, last year with the pace that he showed. We did the Heat 5 exhibition races shortly after our Winter Series, and he was so quick in that. You just can't ignore pace like that. You really can't. And, his favorite driver is Christopher Bell. They're from the same hometown. I couldn't want to please him more by putting him in that ride and seeing what he can do this season.
Yeah, I agree. Good pick there. We will now move on to the third pick in the draft, and Alan has just told me the pick as well. Not surprising, but kind of surprised. With the third pick in the 2022 Hennessy Performance League draft, LD Allen for Roush Fenway Racing selects Sharp 24. He will drive the Fords for Season 4.
Yeah, I think I saw that one coming from a mile away. Sharp, he's got a really good relationship with Allen. He's got a really good relationship with those guys. I think Allen made a really good pick here. Sharp is, again, one of those guys that you just can't ignore the pace of here in this first round. Somebody that, I knew was going to go top 5. And I think all you guys can say the same.
Yeah.
Jake, what are your thoughts on that pick from Allen?
I mean, I thought it was a very great pick. I mean, you got to think about this. So you want to have the veterans be able to join your team. And yeah, if you look on that list, you see, Season 1 veterans like Dallator. You also see Jason Cole and Sharp. I think those three guys is definitely those three guys that you definitely do need for your team, especially with the experience level that they have.
Yes, I agree. So we will now move on to the fourth pick. I have just gotten word of the pick, who it will be. Masopes, who do you think the fourth pick will be here?
I've been thinking about this one since we've talked about this draft. Who will Hendrick take in the first round? The Power Series, the series the team that swept the league last year with the championships and the Truck Xfinity Cup. I'm going to go out on a wing here and say they're going to take Fistbuster right here with the fourth pick in the draft. They had Kenny in their Xfinity Series program for a long time. He got a lot of wins there for him, but I think they're going to shy away from him here and go for Fistbuster here with pick 4.
Okay, Jake, who do you think?
I'm gonna just take a random guess on this one. I'm gonna predict G Steezy on this one. I mean, he's definitely one of those drivers that you definitely want to have on your team. And that, I mean, as high caliber as Hendrick is, why not? I mean, G Steezy is a really good pick to be able to join Hendrick.
Okay, and the pick is in with the fourth pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft. Hendrick Motorsports selects Fistbuster, and he will join their Cup roster for Season 4. What do you guys think of that pick?
Saw that one coming from a mile away as well, I suppose.
Very good pick, and definitely can't wait to see how Fistbuster does.
If you don't mind me projecting here, I honestly thought it was going to be Kenny. Because, I mean, he's a top 4 driver from last season's Xfinity Series. Made it to the Final 4, I believe.
Yeah, and that directly transfers over to this next pick.
All right.
Heredia.
Yes, we will now move on to pick 5 here. Heredia is now on the clock. Let's see who he will pick. This fifth pick. He told me his pick, but we'll just wait to see if he told me his pick a few days ago, so let's see if he will still stick to that.
Well, we'll see.
Yes, this pick is still the same with the 5th pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft. The Heredia God selects for Team Penske, FaZe Electric. He will go to Team Penske.
Whoa! Wow.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
shakeup right there. That's a shakeup right there. Congratulations to FaZe Electric going in the first round. I think that's somebody we didn't see going in this round.
Hey,
Yeah.
congratulations to FaZe Electric. I mean, you see the relationship that both him and Heredia have. So, yeah, this is a really surprising pick. But, yeah, congratulations to FaZe Electric.
I agree. Interesting pick there. But just want to see how this shakes out now with a few big names still on the board. With the 6th pick in the 2022 Hennessy Performance League draft, Brody for CGR will select Kenny. So there you go. There's that pick off the board.
Can't go wrong there. That's
No,
a
you can't
steal
go
at pick
wrong.
6. That's a steal at pick 6 here.
Brody took advantage of a much-needed driver, and he definitely got one.
Absolutely.
I agree. So now, just for everyone to know, we've done the first. Every team is picked. So now the picks will be inverted. So if you pick 6, you will now pick next here, and that is Brody. So he has 2 picks back to back. So he can pick really 2 solid drivers right here if he wants to.
See who he goes with.
I don't know. Now it's time. Now it's that point where we kind of had a feeling these were going to go where, but now let's see how these next picks fall. And the pick is in with the 7th pick in the 2022 Hennessy Performance League draft for round 2. Brody will pick Ghost Killer, Season 3 Championship 4 contender. Really solid pick up there for that team.
2 back-to-back great drivers. I mean, Brody knows what he's doing, and yet he's got himself 2 great drivers. So congrats to him.
Already, just looking at these 6 guys that Brody has on his roster, that roster is already looking dangerous to me. When you look at Brody, Captain Jack, Killer, the Ghost, Kenny, and Ghost Killer, those are 6 very, very fast, very capable drivers. Chip Ganassi, RCR, looking very good so far.
Yeah, I do agree.
Brody definitely did his homework on this one for sure.
Yes, he has a really solid group, really solid 6. If he can get 2 in each series, that's a good group of 6 that can compete for the championship. We will now move on to Heredia and Team Penske. He has just submitted his pick. With the 8th pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft, Team Penske and the Heredia God selects, hey, it's Clay. He will go to Team Penske. So Heredia going a specific color in these first 2 picks here, don't you think, Miss Opes?
yeah. But overall, I think that's a good pickup for Heredia. I think Clay showed a lot of speed towards the second half of the season in the Xfinity Series last year. He really missed out on a couple wins at Kentucky and Daytona. Those are 2 tracks that I think will look very good for him in this upcoming season. And, it'll be interesting to see where he's slotted in Cup, Trucks, or Xfinity, one of those 3. But I think wherever he goes, that's a solid contender, somebody that's going to make the playoffs and somebody that's going to show up every week for you. So I think that's a good pick.
Yes, I agree. We will now move on to the 9th pick. Hendrick Motorsports is on the clock. And Riley has just told me the pick. With the 9th pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft, Hendrick Motorsports will select TGS Predators. He gets to come back from a very solid run last year after winning the final race at Las Vegas in the Truck Series.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. Really good way to end the season last year with a win. You can't have better momentum than that, I would say, going into the next season, coming off a win at the last track you raced at, the last real league race we did, in Hennessy. Well, not the last one, but the last one for trucks. And, I think he's got a lot of momentum heading into Daytona, and I think he'll do a great job. there with Beckett, Hendrick.
I think he'll do definitely a great job, and I expect a lot out of TCG, and can't wait to see how it goes.
Yes, I
Yes,
agree.
sir.
We will now move on to the 10th pick, where Roush has the floor. Let's see where they pick. And there you go. Pick is in. With the 10th pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft, LD Allen will select Mike G. So Mike G goes from SHR to Roush to Ford affiliates there.
Plain and simple. I mean, it's like I talked about earlier. I mean, Allen has a lot of experienced drivers in there, and he's definitely got a great pack of experienced drivers along his team. So, congrats to Mike G.
Yes, I agree. Going really quick here. Masopes has already submitted his pick. A bit interesting pick here, to say the least. With the 11th pick in the 2022 Hennessy Performance League draft, JGR selects Fire Slayer. They get the reunion back from season 3. Fire Slayer ran for Team Penske with Masopes under his roof. So interesting pick up there, solid pick up there to say the least.
Fire Slayers. Go ahead, Masopes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick for us. I was surprised to see him go out of the top 10. I think he's a top 10 driver in talent when you look at the Cup drivers. And hopefully next year, I think with a lot of improvement and a lot of work on the track, he's going to get himself a win. I think that's a driver that can compete week in and week out. He's going to show up week in and week out. And I think we've already got some good chemistry with him on our team and some other guys that we have in our roster as well.
Plain and simple. I mean, he's a top 10 driver in my eyes. I mean, he has worked his bust his tail off throughout the last couple of seasons, and yet, Masopes knows how good Fire Slayer is. So yeah, this is a really great pick from Masopes. So congratulations on picking up Fire there, Masopes.
Thanks, man.
We will now move to Mayhem Tomorrow. He is now on the clock for his next pick. See where he goes here. Where do you think Mayhem goes with this pick? Code Red.
There's a lot of great drivers, but yet my prediction is Dank Booty Flakes on this one.
Oh, going out, reaching. Okay, that's an interesting pick there. Let's see where he picks.
I'm thinking it's Electric Blade here, maybe. Taken off the board.
Still some big names out there, to say the least. Wicks, he won the championship in season 2 with Mayhem.
Or TK 270 Kelvin. Kevin is still out there as well. I think that's a pick. He's very familiar with those guys. We're not familiar with SHR. Sorry.
Also, don't forget about Rich Gang. Rich Gang's still up there on the board as well. I mean, he has had a great season last year, trying to fight into the playoffs. And he's an underrated driver in my opinion. So yet, pick up Rich Gang. I mean, he's a really great one.
Yeah, interesting pick here. I believe Dallator is in the chat. Dallator, how are you? What are your thoughts on if he's here, what are your thoughts on the first round draft pick of Sharp? And I do not think he is here.
I don't think he is. I can't hear him. Dallator, are you there, bud?
He said he cannot talk in the chat. Oh, okay. So Nobes has submitted his pick. Mayhem is not here at the moment. So
Nobes, let's go.
Pick this pick. So with the 12th pick to end round 2, Stewart Haas Racing selects Rich Gang with the interesting pick. I believe one of you guys, I think Jake told me that, said that just now about that pick. And pick there, a good pickup.
Yep.
For that team.
Yep, that was me. Yeah. Great pick.
By the way, Dallator,
I agree.
If you're here, you've been unserver muted, so if you'd like to say anything, you can.
There we go. Out of jail. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. We can hear you out and clear. What are your thoughts on the first round pick from Allen right there?
He's done pretty good. I think Jake touched on it as I was coming in, that there's a lot of experience so far on Roush. With picking up Sharp, who is a perennial threat wherever we go, and Mike G is one of those guys who is going to be sneaky but good. Allen's got a lot of experience with those two. I think those are some pretty good picks right off the bat.
Yeah, I agree. Two solid pickups, a bit older drivers in the league, some of the older drivers, but still a lot of experience there. They can get it done on the track. Now we will move on to the compensation round. A few teams did not keep all three drivers, like HMS, like Joe Gibbs. So now this will be the round specifically for them. And I believe it is SHR and Roush. I believe every other team has picked more than three drivers. So now Nobes again will be on the clock and he gets to pick his next driver. Where do you guys think he goes here with this basically a free pick?
Looking on this list right now, I mean, there is a lot of great names that are still on here. Yet my next one I'm predicting is he'll probably go with Jackson Altman. I mean, he's still on that list.
Okay, well, Nobes has just submitted his pick. And with the compensation pick, Stewart Haas Racing selects Nicholas Latifi. He won the F2 race on Monday on the Leaks channel, so you guys can check that out if you guys would like to. Interesting pickup. No one really knows about him. So let's see where he goes and see how he does in the season.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's definitely fast out there in the F2 cars, and I look forward to seeing how he does when it comes to either the trucks, Xfinity, or where he's gonna be put in. He's definitely have a lot of eyes coming on him, especially since he is a rookie out of the bunch.
Yes, I agree. We're now on to Roush. A bit of a consistent pattern here. LD Allen is selected with his pick, TK270 Kelvin. So going a bit older and gnarl ex-drivers with the relationships there. Good pickup for him.
I mean, you got to think about this, though. I mean, he did win the first race of the season last year, so yet I expect a lot of great expectations from Kelvin this season.
Yeah, I can agree. I think that's a great pickup for Roush. Kevin's a guy with a lot of experience here in this league, and hopefully he's going to do a great job.
Yes, I agree. We will now move on to the Heredia God, since they have the final compensation pick with this round. Where do you think he goes here? I think he may go Jackson, honestly, but we'll see.
I'd be really interested in seeing if they do pick Jackson. But, I mean, there's still many great names on this list. I mean, you also got to think about Solis. Solis is an Xfinity winner at Darlington. So, Heredia's got a tough choice to pick.
Just received word on the pick with the final pick in the compensation round. Team Penske selects the Season 2 Truck Series champion and H-Wicks. Really solid pickup there for him. What do you think on that?
Yeah, that's a great pick. Kind of off the wall there. Didn't really think that one was coming, but H-Wicks is a very talented driver among what we have left in this free agency pool, and I think that's a really good pickup for him.
One thing I love about the draft. Go ahead, Altor. Go ahead.
Sorry about that, Jake. Honestly surprised that SHR didn't use their compensation on Wicks, basically letting him fall right to Heredia.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very surprised. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Mayhem, but he trusts Nobes to make that pick. So, but Nobes was his Wick State in Season 2. So, but yeah. Now we will move on Now we're back to the original format. Every team should have 6 drivers as of right now. So now we're just going to go back to the original format. SHR picks first, CGR picks last, and the invert where CGR picks first, SHR picks last. So now we will move on. We will now do an interview since we're about 1/3 done through the draft. Jake, where to go with you first? You have not drafted. What do you think so far? Where do you think you're going to go?
Honestly, it don't matter where I go. Whatever team selects me, I know that they're going to have a really great driver in their hands, and plus a really great teammate. So whatever I go to, I'm just ready to be able to get drafted. So it's definitely the nerves are really killing me, but at the same time, I mean the wait is definitely worth it for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Soaps, do you have anything for Jake before we begin?
No.
Okay. Well, we will now move on to the 3rd round of the draft where SHR again is back on the board with the pick. So let's see where they go here. Really don't know where they could go. They could really go in there. Fistbuster, Sikkim, Electric Blade, Freedom, T-Bird still out there. G Steezy is still out there if you want to try and take a shot on him. Still some good names out there if you can pick them up.
Also, Free OG is still out there as well. So I mean, it all depends on what Nobes is going to do to help me up for his team.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll see. We'll see where Nobes goes with this pick. He has about 90 seconds left to submit his pick before it is moved to the end of the draft. So let's see where he goes. As he just submitted his pick with the first pick in the 3rd round, SHR will select color VII. So another older driver with experience, part of that Mike G Sharp group. I think that's a really pickup. He was eliminated in the round of 12 last season, but really showed a lot of speed at Chicagoland in that first race in the playoffs. Jake, what do you think on that pickup there for SHR?
I thought it was a really great pick. I mean, like you mentioned it, he was in the playoffs last season until he got eliminated. So I definitely do say the experience should be able to help for that team, especially whenever you have a great cup driver such as Color.
Yeah, I agree. We'll now move on to the next pick where Masopes is on the board and has submitted his pick with the 2nd pick in the 3rd round. Joe Gibbs Racing selects Bostic. There he goes. The guy who's leading the stream, Bostic. Let's get your quick thoughts on that. How do you feel with that pickup there? You're now on JGR.
That's pretty great. I get to be reunited with my boy Jim. I'm with my soaps now. I'll be able to have a lot of help this season now. Because last season I joined mid-season and stuff like that. So now I feel like I can get more help this season. And I would guess the Xfinity Series. We'll see how that turns out though. But now I have my soaps by my side. I got Jim, Dead Dad, Bales, JoJo, and Fire Slayer. That's crazy. I love this team. Let's do it.
Thanks, man. Happy to have you.
Congratulations, buddy.
Here. Thank you.
We now move on to LD Allen. He is the 3rd pick. He just told me that he was going to pick Bostic, but now he's off the board. So a bit of a scramble there for Roush.
I don't know if Dalator's still here, but yet I know the waiting is definitely killing him to see who his next teammate is going to be.
All good here.
Yeah, let's see. Allen probably didn't expect him to go that high, so let's see where he goes. There it is with the third pick in the round 3. LD Allen picks for Roush Fenway Racing. TTV Hail State. He is in my SIP party. He is an admin, so he does go to Roush here. Interesting pickup. Hail State finally gets a ride. He gets to go to Roush for season 4.
Congratulations, Hill State. That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, finally getting a ride. Hill State here in the third round, too. I think that's well deserved. I think he's going to show up and put in the work to get better on the track, and hopefully we'll see some better results from him. He does have one career Xfinity win and one career series truck win. Depending on where he goes, I'm thinking Xfinity here with this pick by Allen. He should do a great job, and I'm really excited to see what he can do on the track.
Yeah, I agree. With the next pick, Hendrick Motorsports, Riley has already submitted it to me. Hendrick Motorsports selects with the 4th pick in the 3rd round, Dolgen. Looks like he will be the 3rd driver in our Cup program, so interesting to see there how he will do. He's a former Cup Series champion at NGRL, so he knows how to get it done.
The more experience you have, the more you definitely need it towards your team. So, yeah, congratulations to Dolgen on being selected by Hendrick.
We will now move on to the 5th pick where Heredia is now on the board. He gets to pick his next driver. See where he goes with this pick. So, what's your, just get a few thoughts here for your team. What's the expectation? Is it championship or bust?
Absolutely. With the caliber of drivers that I think we'll put on the table in the respective series that they're in, I think we'll be able to compete in all 3 series. Already, we're looking good for our Cup roster. We've already got 3 guys that I think are going to be locked in Cup, and they're going to be ready. You got to take it JoJo and Big Jim. I think those 2 guys you can guarantee in Cup. Fireslayer, haven't really had that conversation with him yet since he just got on the team. Me and JoJo have been in conversation for quite some time before the draft about where he wanted to race and stuff if I got to select him. So I think Cup is where we're going to be the most dangerous, but overall, we'll have championship contenders in each field.
Yes, I agree. With the 5th pick in the 3rd round, the Heredia God selects Sikkim ACB. So he goes to Team Penske. I assume that's going to be a ride that will help their roster out really good. He really performed well in the Winter Series.
There's one guy that I've seen on here who's a bit of a wild card in my opinion. We still have Dank on here. If Dank's a pretty quick driver from what I've seen from last year. He's a bit of a wild card on my pick, in my opinion, because of the whole sensitivity training thing. But as long as he's on a team, he will put in the work, put in the hours, and be able to
stay hungry, read him.
and he'll stay hungry and he'll devour. I believe that, man.
That's it. Yeah, I think Dank is just a plane has been flying over his house right now, just completely being overlooked. I think that's a great driver. When you look at our Winter Series, who was in the top 5 in both? I think it was the top 3 in both series when we did the Winter Series. Dank finished in the points. So I'm very surprised he's been overlooked this long, but now that we've brought attention to him, I think he's going to get snatched right in front of us now.
I do believe
Maybe right here with this pick.
I do believe it will be CGR since that's where he was back last season in the 16 car. Either in this round or next round, it doesn't really matter. It's basically the same pick for him because he picks back to back. But he's a steal. So
Yeah, Brody's next. Let's see where he goes. He is not answering any messages, so maybe he will basically lose his next 2 picks. So that'll be big.
It'd be really shocking if Brody doesn't put in this pick in.
he's typing. Oh,
And there it is. The pick is in. With the last pick in the 3rd round, Brody for CGR selects Always Eric. So he's pretty high. Interesting pick. He was really solid in Xfinity last season. So
Yeah, that's a good pickup for Brody there. It's going to be, maybe a little bit of a handful at times, but I think that's a good pick. I think he's a good driver. He's won a Michigan race in Xfinity, so we'll see what happens there with that pick. I think that's a good overall pick for him.
yeah, I agree. He now is also can pick the next pick as well. So let's see where he goes. Basically 2 free picks here for him. He's now put in his next pick. With the first pick in the 4th round, Brody will select Hunt. I believe it's Hunt for car 11. He was in the Cup Series last year with Roush. Now he gets to go to CGR with a really good group of guys. I believe he knows Ghost, if that lines up, but still good group of guys he can join with and learn from.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick there by Brody. Humphrey Carr was one of those guys last year where he was really just learning. I think that was a big year for him last year, just to learn how these drivers are in Cup. He's a younger driver, but I don't think that should shy away from any donors from taking him. I think he's got a lot of talent, and I think Brody made a really good pickup here. I think he can learn a lot from those guys that he works with. He's on a wheel. Brody is arguably one of the best wheel drivers we have in our league. So I think that's a great pickup, and hopefully it'll show for results. I could see him racing Cup for Brody, and I could see him doing a lot better than he did last year.
We will now move on to the next pick. Heredia has just submitted his pick. With the 2nd pick in the 4th round, the Heredia God selects for Team Penske Free OHG. He retired last season in the middle of last season. He now gets to come back and will drive for Team Penske. So a solid pickup there. Assuming that's going to be an Xfinity ride. So good pickup there. Free OHG goes to Team Penske.
Yeah, I think that is a great pickup there.
We will now move on to Hendrick Motorsports. They are up on the clock next. Last minute discussions with Riley. He's thinking about a pick now, thinking about 2 drivers. So let's see where he goes here. Where do you guys, Masopes, where do you think he's going to go?
I think he's got to go with Dank. I mean, either Dank or Bobby Love. I mean, those 2 drivers are Cup caliber drivers. I think. I mean, it's not really a stretch of me to say Dank is a Cup caliber driver. I think he can do it. I think he can do a good job in Cup. Bobby Love raced in Cup last year, and for these two guys to still be on the board this late, it's kind of mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, I agree. But the pick is in, and with the third pick in the fourth round, Hendrick Motorsports selects Indeed Dank Booty Flakes. He will join their Cup roster with two pretty talented drivers, so he has a big shoes to fill with Riley going to Xfinity.
Yeah, he will be going to Cup. That's very exciting. I don't think there's no place he'd rather be than back at Hendrick in a Cup car. Can't wait for him to be your teammate next year, and I'm sure you can say the same.
That is a great pick.
Yeah, really great pick.
He's shown so much speed in those Cup cars. I'm so excited to see how he does next season.
Yeah, the next thing is just the commitment, like he's had a few issues off the track. If you can just exit that out and just clean up the finishes, then I think that'll be a really good pickup for HM, a sneaky pick there. And with the next pick in the draft, the pick is in. LD Allen selects our booth member, Code Red Dew.
Code!
Will join
Wow.
Fenway Racing with Hale State.
Let's go, man.
Wow. I really didn't expect that. That's awesome. That's awesome. To be able to be in a team with guys like Delator, Allen, Sharp, Cole. I mean, that's awesome. Don't know what to say right now, but thank you, Allen. That's awesome.
Oh, we get to run it back to when I picked you on the team. We turned
Yeah, I
out
know.
pretty well there.
Oh, we did, man. That's awesome. Let's go. Let's go.
Happy for
All we
you,
need
man.
to do is trade for drunk.
Touche, man.
I believe we will now move on to JGR with Soaps. He's next. See where he goes with this pick. And there it is with the fifth pick in round 4. Soaps for JGR selects Kush Knight for 20. Gets to stay home. Was there last season. Solid pickup for that group.
It's a good pickup. Great pickup.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, guys. I think that's a great guy to have back on the team. Doesn't have to change his profile picture. I think he wants to stay in trucks, and I think he wants to stay in the 4-2. So doesn't even have to change the profile picture. That's an awesome graphic made by Big Jim too. So glad to have him back. I think that's a great ride in trucks. He had a lot of bad luck last year, and I think that guy's determined. I think he is going to show up. I think he's going to give me some good performances, and I think he's going to put the 4-car in victory lane at least once this year in the truck series. So welcome to the club, Kush.
Yeah, I agree. Good pickup there. He barely down on the playoffs. I feel like that playoff format, he was a top 10 driver, but when you have drivers below the cut line win, that really shakes things up there. I think that really screwed him over. Mayhem is next, or Nobes, actually. So let's see where they go. Get 2 picks here.
I'm thinking Electric Blade is one of these 2 picks here. Has to be. He showed.
I got a feeling I know which one of them
speed
is.
in the couple Winter Series exhibitions he did do. He was running at the front of the pack. If this gets overlooked by these 2 picks, I would be shocked.
There was one driver I'm really surprised about that's still on the list that has not been picked yet, and that's Jackson Altman. I mean, he's been running his best up in the Xfinity Series, so yet I figured he would have got picked earlier, but nah, he's still on that list.
There's a few people on the draft board still that have not been picked that I'm surprised about. I think one of them is going to go here. I'll wait to see who Mayhem or Nobes decides to pick before I comment.
Nobes has decided to pick with the first pick in the 5th round. Nobes has decided to pick John McAvoy. He is now with SHR. I assume it's going to be a truck ride. Good pickup for him.
Now, here's a guy who will stay committed the whole season long. I was talking to him earlier, stuff like that. And he plays hockey and stuff like that, but he's on a day where he can race every week, week in, week out. He will give it his all, and I believe in John, and that is a great pick for Stuart Haas.
Yep, and we also have the next pick for the 6th round, I believe, right? Or 5th? I believe 5th or 6th, but Nobes gets this pick again. Nobes picks Electric Blade, as you guys thought he would go with. Had to go there. I think that's a good pick up there, but
Electric Blade.
yeah, interesting pickup. We do not know how good he is on the heat side. He's really good in F1, but we've never seen him really go for on the heat side with us. So let's see. Could be a good pick there. Whatever series he goes in.
I think that's a great pick. I think that's a steal. That's a steal.
Yes. I haven't seen him on Heat or F1, but I believe he's pretty quick from what I've heard. So I still think that's a great pick for SHR.
Yep. With the next pick in the 2022 HPO drafts, JGR will select Taylor Gone Sliding. I assume that will be a Xfinity ride, so that should complete their roster there, Mastopes.
Sorry, what'd you say? Complete the roster for what?
The Xfinity group, I believe that should do it, right?
Oh, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. There's still some conversations to be made with some of the guys on our roster, and there's still some guys to be drafted. So we haven't made that decision yet, but we'll definitely have the full roster sometime tonight.
Yeah, I agree. But Taylor goes to JGR. Allen is next. Let's see where he goes with this pick. Where do you think he goes with this one? We're about almost, I believe we're over halfway done, so only a handful of picks left. Coder, where do you think he goes?
Personally, you guys mentioned Bobby Loves. I mean, Bobby Love could be a really great one added to the team. I mean, but it's all up to Allen on this one. Dallas, how about you?
Bring him home.
We have now moved on to LD Allen for Roush. His pick is in, and he picks Jackson Altman. Interesting pickup there. Masopes, what do you think on that?
That's a nail biter. I hope he races for him. I hope he comes and races for him. I think that's going to be the biggest hump in the road that they're going to have to get over is his attendance. But if he shows up, that's a steal of a pick. If he shows up, he's a great driver, and I really hope he does. And I hope LD Allen, didn't just waste an opportunity on someone else. I really hope Jackson does a good job this season. He's got the potential to be a playoff contender in Cup, to be a Final Four contender in Xfinity, and to be a Truck Series champion. So put him wherever you want him. He's going to perform, and I just hope it all goes right for him here.
Yep, we will now move on to Hendrick Motorsports. Riley just told me the pick with the 4th pick in the round of 5. Hendrick Motorsports selects T-Bird with that pick. Interesting pick up there. I believe that can be a really good pick, if I can say so myself.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I think that's a guy that's going to show up, be there every week, and we haven't really seen much of him. I think this is his rookie season, so hey T-Bird, I won the championship in Xfinity my rookie season. Maybe you can do the same. Rookie luck.
Yeah,
Same thing
I agree.
for Nicholas Latifi. I think he's got. I think you got a little bit of luck when you're a rookie.
But yeah, we will now move on to Team Penske. Heredia has just submitted his pick, going pretty quick here, which is pretty good. Thought this would take longer. With the fifth pick in the fifth round, Team Penske selects Team Air Jordan. Chase gets to go to Team Penske there, but assume that's going to be a truck ride for them.
Yeah, so far so good for Team Penske. They got a lot of chemistry with those guys as I'm looking at this list. A lot of chemistry on that list, a lot of guys that I think will get along well and will hopefully show up and perform well for Heredia and Team Penske this year.
Yeah, I agree. Now move on to Brody. He has now submitted his next two picks, which is pretty good. So with the last pick in the fifth round, Brody will select G Steezy. Goes back to CGR. Good pickup there, I believe. He will just show up every race, like the results may not show, but you want that's consistent enough and will run at all the races if he can.
Very good pick for Brody, and I can't wait to see how GCC does this season.
Yeah, I agree. With the next pick, the first round of round 6, Brody will also select Freedom Flyer. Very sneaky pick. If Freedom can show every race, that's a really good pickup for that team.
All hands down, Freedom is a really awesome driver, and yet if he can be able to show up to every race, then yeah, by all means he can be able to show how great a performance he can be able to pull on.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. There's still a few big names still left. So Lease, Sir Sad Sack, Assassin. Let's see where he goes. There's still a few picks left. But next is now the Heredia God. Let's see where he goes with this pick. And
Don't have
there it is.
all right.
What was that, Jake?
I was saying there wasn't too many options on there, and I'm interested to see how Heredia picks up.
Yep, with the anywho, Team Penske, the Heredia God, he will select Minifit with that pick. I believe that's going to be an Xfinity ride as well. So interesting pickup there. Minifits goes to Team Penske. He didn't really run last year, so it could be a good pick. A pretty big hit or miss pick there for Team Penske. We will now move on to Hendrick Motorsports. Riley's just submitted his pick with the next pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft. Hendrick Motorsports selects Ty Racing. He joins HMS. Pretty big shoes for him to fill. I assume this is going to be a truck ride. Ran pretty well last year. Was in the top 10 in points. Think a good pickup there. So, really good pickup there for Hendrick Motorsports. LD Allen is next on the clock. I will tag him in Discord. Bostic, how's the stream looking on your end? Pretty good? And I assume so.
Jackson in the chat says Penske's average age is like 13.
I believe so. Electric, Clay's pretty young, Heredia himself.
Yeah, but one thing about it though is that Heredia picked up a really great team for himself. So it could be a make or break, but yet I know Heredia's happy with his picks.
We got a lot of young guns at Penske right now.
And we do have the next pick for LD Allen. I know Dallator had to get this word in because he loves this driver, but with the next pick, Roush Fenway Racing, LD Allen selects Fluffy Sacks with their pick. Good pick up there for them. I know Dallator, if he's here, I know he wanted to get Fluffy back on that Roush team again.
I can finally stop holding my breath. No, I've had absolutely no say in what LD does. I'm kind of just a bystander at this point. LD and I have talked about a few things for next season, but everything, all the decisions are exclusively his and his alone. So I'm just the guy who's the assistant to the regional manager.
Yep, there you go. But pretty good pickup there. We will now move on to the next pick, and that will be the Soaps. See where he goes here.
Drunkfest says this draft is better than any Motorsports Games product. Thank you, Drunk. We've worked hard. We've worked harder than them. Oh, well, I won't say that, but...
No, please say that.
No, say that? Yeah,
Please.
Motorsports Games, ugh. Oof. I'm sorry, bro. We've done better in the past 3 hours than you did in a whole 2 years making Ignition. The game is trash.
I put in
We do
more
have
effort with the graphics than they did in theirs.
Yeah, but we do have the next pick, Masopes has made his pick. He just told me with the next pick in the 2022 Hennessy Performance League draft. Joe Gibbs Racing selects Bobby Love.
Bobby Love. Let's go.
So he goes to JGR. Interesting pickup. He was there last year. Masop's really keeping strong with most of his team. I see a few questions here. Any trades that were to happen won't be eligible until after the draft. Once all the teams are set, then you can start doing whatever you want with trades. But until then, once everyone knows where everyone is, then you can start making trades.
And as last season, we had a trade over a bet at with Chase Elliott at Coda. I think that has been outlawed for bet trades, I should say.
I think I don't think Masopes wants you to call him out like that now.
I never. You were the one who said names. I didn't say anything.
Well, if he heard me, then my bad.
You got to work on the squeaking there, Jake.
The squeaking, that's not me.
That's my chair. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I'm saying the squeak. Like you said
Okay.
names.
Yeah, I got you.
Ah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's moving my chair.
I wasn't even talking about the chair.
As we will now move on to Nobes, he has submitted his next 2 picks. So, Masopes, you can hear me. You will be next on the draft board. But with the next 2 picks, the first pick, Nobes has selected Serge Sadsack. He finally gets off the board. Really solid pick up there for SHR.
Sir Sad Sack.
Interesting pickup, like hit or miss. I think as well, ran really well. He's the road course ringer. He's like Marcus Ambrose, AJ Allmendinger. Can really run well on the road courses. That's where he shined the most in the past 3 seasons in HPL. And with the next pick, to start the 7th round, I believe this is, Nobes will select Solis.
There he goes.
So there he goes, you know? I think that's a really good pickup for them. But yeah, Masopes is now on the clock, so let's see where he goes. As he just submitted his pick. With the second pick in the 7th round, Masopes has selected Brett Baker. Really good pickup there. New to the league, but I'm sure he can throw his name in his hat and win a few races next season.
I haven't seen Brett yet, but I'm excited to run with his team as a whole. Should be great. Should be nice.
Yep, LD Allen is now on the clock. So let's see where he goes. He submitted his pick with the 3rd pick in the 7th round. LD Allen picks AHAC. With this pick, he was on SHR last year. Really good pickup there. He made the playoffs, I believe. So I think that's a really good pickup there. Soaps, are you here? I think he's dead. But yeah, that's a really good pickup for them. Hendrick has just submitted their pick, and it will be Overbeek. Gets to go to Hendrick Motorsports. I think that's a really good pickup. Had some really good races last year in the truck series.
Didn't give me time to use the overlay. That's quick with it.
So now move on to the Heredia God. He has the next pick. Let's see where he goes here. We will now move on to the Heredia God. His pick is in with the 5th pick in the 7th round. The Heredia God picks I-Warner 16. This is one of those drivers who was dedicated to this league. I'm glad he has a ride. He's been here basically since season 2 and never got a ride. I think that's a good pickup there for them.
And then back to CGR.
Yes, back to CGR. There's a few drivers left. I'm sure everyone everyone will get picked here, so don't have to worry about that. But next
I believe
we
this-
have.
Sorry.
No, what were you gonna say? You can add
I
more.
believe CGR is going to take Assassin in one of these next two picks. Brody has had him on his team last season, as we've seen. A few of these guys have worked with him. A few of these guys like him. I don't know much about other people, but it'd be a good pickup for Brody. If Brody responds.
Yeah, if that's the case, I mean, he's missing out on two drivers. I mean, this is potentially his final two picks. So yet,
I believe it is his final two picks. He will go with the last pick in the 7th round. Brody will select SS Assassin. Goes back to CGR. I'm sure he was wondering where he was going to go. Finally gets to go back to CGR.
You called it. You definitely called Assassin being picked up by Brody. So, yep, not surprised here.
Yes, I agree. He also has his next pick. In the draft, which will start the last round in the draft, and this is his final pick to round out his roster. With the last pick for CGR, Brody will select Greg Tyrus.
Good pick. Good pick.
Or your final picks.
Yes, we will now move on to the Heredia God. Boston, could you just show the grid one more time?
It's already up.
Okay, thank you.
So we got Broncos, Justin Shackett, and King, or whatever you want to call him, Boss Bomber. I think it's King. These three can go to Penske, Hendrick, or Roush with the remaining picks.
As
Penske's on the clock.
Penske is on the clock, they have now made their pick. With the second to last pick, Team Penske will select Justin Shackett.
Nice.
So now there's two drivers left.
Broncos. Boss Bomber.
And Boss Bomber. We will now move on to the second to last pick, basically the last pick, because whoever he picks, the other driver will automatically go to HMS.
Definitely a interesting one to see who is going to get the final pick.
We will now see where Alan picks. Final two picks here. We will basically now open the floor to everyone. If anyone wants to come in and have an interview with their new team, feel free to say something in the Discord chat, and we'll add you to it.
Thank you, everyone.
See where he goes.
So wait is I think we could say is definitely anticipating.
Cue the
say
Jeopardy music.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say play Jeopardy music really.
No, he just submitted his pick. With the essentially last pick in the draft, Roush Fenway Racing selects Broncos with that pick. So with that being said, Hot Dog King Boss Bomber will go to HMS in the final pick of the draft.
Am I think backwards?
Hard to say, really.
Should be HMS and then Roush.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my bad, but it's still it would still be the same. So HMS will still get Hot Dog. Roush will still get Broncos. That pick wouldn't
Who's
have
Hot
been
Dog? Is
changed.
that Boss Bomber?
King Boss Bomber.
It is, yeah.
Hot Dog was his original PSN name, and we call him Hot Dog because that one, this PSN name is worse.
So that leaves both Stuart Haas Racing and Joe Gibbs with an extra space there.
Yes.
What are the plans for that?
So this is what they will do. They will use that fourth seat as a hot seat for any driver until they fill the.
So until they fill the spot, hot seats, and whoever they're comfortable with the most, they can pick up.
Yes.
All right, cool.
So everyone on that draft board, Boston can show it for you guys one last time before we end things off and get final comments.
Man, it's just with the draft, it's definitely going to be a really interesting season, and I look forward to everyone being in, whether if it's Cup, Truck, or Xfinities. I just want to say congratulations to everyone out there being drafted.
Yeah, I agree. Masopes, any last thoughts? Final draft board. What do you think on your team?
Speechless.
I don't think he's here.
He's gone. He's gone, I believe.
He's not even in the chat.
Discord chat.
I think he left after the last pick.
I think so. Yeah, he did.
That was on this half of JGR. I do believe that Masopes drafted a fantastic team. I am very happy that I'm with this team, with the chemistry that we have here, and stuff like that. As a lot of us know, I drove with Taylor last season, which was pretty nice. I do like him a lot. He's a good Cup. He's a good truck guy, I should say, not Cup. I don't know about Cup. You know what I mean?
Hey, just be happy you got drafted, man. Congratulations, bud, on being reunited with JGR, man.
I'm very happy. I've never driven for them before, but I'm very good friends with Jim Masopes. All right, I'm pretty good friends with JoJo. I don't know where I stand with Dead Dad. I think I'm good with him. Taylor and I, Fire and I, and I'm just hoping for a good season. That's really it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, and I agree. With that being said, we do not have the graphic out yet, but it is official. The roster you see on your screen now is the official roster for all 6 teams. And the first race of the season will be this Wednesday for the Truck Series at Daytona. So January 12th, I believe, will be the first race of the season for Season 4 in the Truck Series at Daytona. So, that being said, all the owners have basically until Monday to fill out the roster, give the admins the numbers and what series everyone will be in. So, just last thoughts, Dallator, Code Red, Bostic, before we wrap things up.
I just want to say great draft and congratulations to everyone being drafted. I can also say I look forward to this season and can't wait to see how it goes.
I'm glad we did this,
Yeah.
honestly. I feel like before, with the way we were doing it, people would come into the league and then it was just kind of like, they sign with who brought them in. So by doing this, everybody basically had to be reviewed by their peers. And I feel like the rosters are the deepest they've ever been by doing it like this. So this is going to be exciting for the season.
And
Yeah, I agree.
one thing, if it is all right, Assassin would like to speak. If it's okay with everyone here.
We're gonna decline that offer. He's doing a bit much in the admin or the main chat, so I think we're gonna decline that offer.
Gotcha.
So, but with that being said, I've just received word since all the drivers are officially submitted and on a roster, we have a trade to announce.
Trade. Ooh.
Yes,
Let's see how this goes.
I believe this is the trade. Team Penske and Roush Fenway Racing are trading I Warner and Jackson Altman.
Wow.
So there you go. Interesting trade there. I think that's. I don't know what to think of that. I think that's good for Allen getting a driver that will want to race. But we'll see how this goes on Wednesday. Wednesday will be the first race. Then Thursday we'll follow the doubleheader as always with Xfinity and Cup right after. So with that being said, for Bostic, Masopes, Dallator, Code Red, thank you for joining me tonight. Pretty long night. I believe that took about 90 minutes, so not bad.
Here.
Not bad at all. Thank you for all the drivers being drafted, and you're now on your teams. This has been anticipated past basically a few months, trying to get people on teams and trying to get this finally sorted. So thank you for that. We will see you guys Wednesday on the stream, on the broadcast for Heat 5 at Daytona for the Truck Series. But until then, we will host F1 Bahrain for the Division 1 Series tomorrow. Basically around this time, roughly 24 hours after this time, we will be live for the Bahrain GP. And we will see you guys then. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.